Okay, so welcome to the last video of this training. So I'm so proud of you for making it this far and actually taking the time to complete the assignments and learn from number 1 till 8. And number 9 is honestly kind of like, now what? Like, what does your everyday life look like as a coach now that you've learned the basics, you've done all the things, and where do you go from here? So 3 things I'm going to highlight, and then I'm going to show you some other stuff. So thing number 1 is every Monday there is, it's called the National Wake Up Call. And at the very beginning of the call, it's recognition from the entire company. So they recognize new diamonds, star diamonds, that kind of thing. You get a little rundown on new products and kind of like what's new in the company. And then this sounds really bad, but sometimes I'll just fast forward the first half hour because really, like, there's a lot of recognition these days. So listen to the first bit, fast forward, don't tell anyone I told you to do that, listen to all their names, and then they interview a coach. So sometimes it's a brand new coach, sometimes it's a coach who's been coaching for a couple of years, sometimes it's one of the elite coaches who make $1 million now, but it changes all the time so that you're constantly getting like introduced to other coaches who you can relate to. Maybe they were a nurse, maybe they were a teacher, maybe they went through addiction, maybe they were in school, maybe they're a mom of 5. Like, there's people from all walks of life, and it's really cool to see, like, hear people's stories and transformations and learn from them. And again, they share what's working, they share what they're doing, they share how they've got successful and some of the best practices. So add that to your calendar. It's also in the Facebook Beachbody, is it Beachbody 411 or Team Beachbody Champions? I'll figure that out. You can kind of cruise some Facebook pages. What the heck? I think it's Beachbody Champions, the Beachbody Champions page on Facebook. So that's where they live stream it, like with video, but it's just a podcast. And so go to your podcast app, search Beachbody. It's the first thing that pops up, but it's called Team Beachbody Podcast. And in case you're interested, these are some of the other podcasts I like. So everything Rachel Hollis, Shilling Johnson, Enjoy Your Happy, but mostly this Beachbody one is the one that I religiously listen to. So that's the National Wake Up Call. Listen to those, get inspired, and because you're new, go back in time. Like, listen to all of them from years and years. Like, they're so good. Anyways, National Wake Up Call. The second thing is make sure that you use our team page. So if you're in your coach's team page, my team page, Girls with Grit, like, be present in there, lean into the group, lean into the chat pods that you're probably in, and ask questions, celebrate success. Like, if you're having a challenge or an off day, talk about that too. But really lean into the community, because the more you lean in, the more you're gonna get out of it. And then actually, I'm going to check my notes just so I don't forget anything. And then, oh yeah, new coach tracker. So now I'm going to share my screen and show you the new coach tracker that was attached to this email. So you'll be able to access it as well. But I'm just going to pull it up here so I can talk you through it. Oops, I don't know. We're going to guess. I'm going to click this page. I'll do this instead. Share screen, desktop. Sorry for the wait. That's our new coach training emails. Eek. Sorry, I have to move a couple things here. Okay, here is the simplified tracker, and you're gonna have to figure out a tracking system that works the best for you. When I first started, I have like 3 of these now, but they're just like calendar books. And this is what I used to keep track of people I talked to, people who were interested, people I had to follow up with. Figure out a tracking system for you. Like, in the back, I just wrote names and names and names and checked them off as I invited them. So these are all people that were following me on Instagram, who were liking my stuff, commenting, like watching my stories. In the note section in the back, I would just write down their names and invite them. And then I started to keep notes on what they would say. My goals are all in here, like just a tracker book. Other people just use notebooks. Some people like to use Google Streak or like some digital format. That's not me. I'm very paper pencil. Now I use this big beast of a tracker. But again, start where you are, and you're going to want to keep track of people who you talk to. And I know that sounds like a no-brainer, that if someone's interested, that like you'll remember, but you won't as time goes on. So think of a system, write down names of people you're going to invite every day. Start with 5 even. So each day of the week, write down 5 names. Make it your goal to send those 5 people an invite. Check them off once you've invited them, and then make a code system. So if they're interested, write INT beside it, or like keep little notes for yourself. Again, however you're going to make it work. But this way, 3 months down the road, you can look back in time and be like, oh, right, I talked to that girl and she was kind of interested. What happened to her? Like, those are the kind of follow-ups that you're going to want to be a part of. But figure out some kind of tracking system. Keep track of team calls. Keep track of even post ideas for each day of the week. We kind of in this tracker put some in here for you. By all means, you don't have to use them. It's just a starting place. So it's kind of like a little checklist for each day of the week. And they're all very similar. Like, you're going to do your workout, your shakeout, whatever supplements you are, do that because you are the foundation of your business, right? So work on your own health first. Personal development is second. Again, read your book, work on your mindset. That's you. The third one is invite to coaching or challenge groups. So try your best to do this every day. Even if you set a number of 3 people a day, 5 people a day, whatever you're comfortable with, make sure you're reaching out to people daily. And it could be something super casual. Like if they were watching your posts or gave a reaction or commented on something, or if you just notice that they're watching your stories every day, make it super casual and just be like, hey, I've noticed you're watching my stories. Thanks so much for the support. It's been really interesting posting my workouts on Instagram because that's totally not my thing in the past. So I really appreciate your support. And of course, if you ever want to join me in a program in July, let me know. Make sure it comes from your heart and be real with people. Share. If you're uncomfortable messaging someone, you can even say that and be like, hey, thanks so much for watching my stories. It's been uncomfortable posting, and actually it's uncomfortable messaging you right now, but this is kind of how I got started, and I'm so grateful. So if you ever want to do this, let me know. Just make the conversation real, change it up every time. It doesn't have to be a script. Adding and connecting. So you're going to want to start kind of thinking about adding to your following and connecting with new people. So when you go into your people who are following you and your friends on Instagram or Facebook, you want to start to creep. I use the word creep, follow, comment, on their friends. So I like to follow friends of friends who I think I have something in common with. So if I go to a friend of a friend's page and look at their friends, if they're posting anything about dogs or hiking or anything like that, I'm like, follow, comment on some things genuinely and authentically. That's how you're going to start adding and connecting. And it feels like you're scrolling, it feels like dead time on your phone and you're creeping people. Make it purposeful. It's part of your job to expand your network. So make it purposeful to just look at new people to follow. And think of it like handing out your business card. Every time you hit that follow button, you're essentially passing out a business card. Because what's going to happen is they see you followed them, and the first thing they do is click your name and go look at your page. So that being said, make sure that you have some good posts that pop up first thing, that first 6 or whatever, or 3, 6, probably the first 9 that pop up should say something about you. And that's why you'll notice down here, we say to vary up your posts. They shouldn't all be a selfie. They shouldn't all be your dog. You have to have some variety so that when someone comes to your page, it's like looking at a business card or going to a storefront for the first time, the outside of a store, the book cover, right? You want to kind of grab their attention and be like, oh, I can relate to this girl because she's this. And then hopefully they'll click the post and read it and learn a little bit about your heart and be like, you know what, I'm going to follow this girl. So that's kind of the goal. Okay, next on that list, engage in the challenge group. So even if you have 1 challenger, if you have 2 challengers, if you got 10, if you got none, make sure you're leaning into the challenge group. Comment on everyone's pictures and posts where you can, right? If they logged a workout that just said they did a workout, you can't really comment on that. But if it's something with more of a description, make sure that you're being present in there and reaching out to your challengers. So another thing, tracking. I know that the computer in Beachbody Office does this for you, but I like to have it, again, paper pencil person. So I have this tracker. I don't know if you can see these little tabs. And I have tabs that say income, Success Club points, goals, clients, and taxes. Because remember, business write-offs. If you buy anything that you're using for work, it's a write-off, you guys. So this pen could be a write-off. This book is a write-off. This plant is a write-off because it goes in my office. So home office, anything like that. If you have questions about taxes and stuff like that, message me and I can even make a separate video about that, but keep track of your receipts and things like that. But anyways, I have a client section and I write down the names of everyone. So I write the month, the year, and then the month, and then everyone who signs up that month. And I make sure that the people that signed up that month, I'm reaching out to every week. And if they signed up last month, I'll still check in with them every so, right? Like you'll get to know who wants you to check in and who's like, I'm good. Like talk to me in a couple months if I fall off, but you'll figure it out. But I find it super handy to have all the names of people that I just signed up in front of me to work off of. Because once you're an Emerald coach, you're going to start getting all those free leads and that kind of like messes up the connection. And I like to write little notes beside their name too, just so I can kind of remember what I signed them up with, what their goals are. I mean, you could scroll back in conversations and learn, but it just makes it easier to kind of keep track of your people, right? So yeah, that's one of them there. Engage in the group, reach out to your challengers and recognize them. Like if someone has a success, especially if it's one of your coaches, because they share more openly, right? If you're a coach, but make sure that you're recognizing people. Beachbody itself is huge on recognition. So shout out as many people as you can. And as often as you can, and that could be in a private message, responding to someone's Instagram story, anything. Just make sure that you share all the love. And then the last one on here, post. So a Monday kind of idea for a post. Whatever you read in your personal development book, make a post about that. We call it Motivational Monday, but anything that you read, you're like, wow, you can reword it, reflect on it, make it your own, take a nice photo, and share your words. Tuesday, everything's the same, except for we have team calls on Tuesdays. We have a link at the top of our team page with all the links. So you'll just click it and go to the team call. Just double check with your coach because things might have changed between you watching this video and like present time. And the post ideas, any kind of transformation, mental transformations, non-scale victory transformations, right? Like any kind of growth. Wednesday, same kind of things, any kind of funny or engaging posts. These are ideas, right? Like you can change this to whatever you want to. Thursdays, a coach post of some kind. So how has coaching helped you? Maybe not necessarily payday, but even with accountability or friendships or community or the fact that you're showing up and doing the thing because it's your job now. Something you've learned since you become a coach. Something like that. Just highlight coaching on Thursdays. Friday, whatever you want. It's Friday, Flex Friday. Saturday, your friends, family, lifestyle. People who are on social media are busy on Saturdays anyways. Like they want to see that you're a real human, not just some business Beachbody coach, right? Like show your real life. And then Sunday, meal prep, helpful tips. Like everyone's getting focused in on Sunday to start their next week. So that's kind of where, again, your post or even your Instagram story can focus on the things that you do on a Sunday to get ready for the week ahead. And then you can add your extra tasks. So this is attached. You can print it. At the top, there's also space for what week it is and what your goal is that week. And then there's 2 boxes to see what you're kind of aiming for. So have you hit your rank goal? So if your rank is Emerald, Diamond, or Star Diamond, as soon as you hit Emerald that week, you can be like, yes, check it off. Help 1 to 2 new people a week. So this week, if you can help 1 person, that is amazing. If you can help 2 people, that's phenomenal. So you would check those off. And then again, in the asterisks here, don't forget to add 5 to 10 stories a day. So on your Instagram, you should have at least 5. 10, like you don't want to go too overboard sometimes because then people start swiping away, but between 5 and 10, that's perfect. And that's just like not only Beachbody, but everyday life stuff too. So that might be a lot. Tackle it in however pods you can. Sometimes people like to do a power hour and they sit down. That's what I do. Like I sit down with I write my tracker in the bottom here. So I sit down and crush it out in an hour. I didn't used to do that. I would do it at recess, lunchtime, waiting in line at the grocery store, like doing these things. But yeah, just try to, at the end of the day, hopefully you've done all the above. And again, that's like all the things as a coach right there. So next thing I want to show you, because I've had some questions about this, a super way to give information. So if someone wants more info, there's a program or a website. It's an app as well. So it's a website and an app called Canva. It's free. So I'll just go to all my designs. I got some Beachbody stuff here. I've got some teaching stuff in here too, my birthday party stuff. But anyways, my challenge group things. So Canva is perfect. So if you're gonna make something, use Canva. Yeah, so you can send out anything I've made. I'm trying to see what I have right here of like content. But if you have somebody who's curious, like what is Beachbody, make a presentation, make a PDF, and then you can just send that to them. Same with free workouts. This is my free workout one here. But anyways, use Canva, super user-friendly. You can pick the size. So if it's a presentation, if it's gonna go on someone's phone, an Instagram post, you can pick all sorts of things and create these. So you can have a PDF made that you send out with all the basic information on it. You can send a PDF out made of like nutrition, like anything that you get questions about and you don't want to word vomit, you can be like, again, be more interested than interesting. So ask them questions and then be like, oh, and here's a PDF I made you can check out. And of course, ask me questions and then keep talking to them. That way it takes the pressure off of you, like telling them all the details and forgetting something or overwhelming them or like not providing enough value before you give them the cost. And so it's like one way to have all your info and you can personalize it with pictures of you and your own Instagram handle in there. So yeah, Canva is a beautiful thing for recognition posts, for challenge group posts, for presentations, for videos, things like anything is on Canva. Okay, another tool. This is Linktree. So if you go to my Instagram, I'll have a link in my bio. And if you click the link, it takes you here. This is what it looks like on Instagram. And you can personalize this. So if they want free workouts, they can click this one. If they want to join the boot camp, click here. If they want to learn more, and if they want to learn more about becoming a coach, they click here. You can do whatever you want. So if you're talking about, maybe you made a brand new recipe and you just made these chickpea muffins, you can say, check out the link in my bio for the recipe. And you can make a little recipe button that will link them to the recipe. Or the free workout of MBF, when that one comes out, it's going to be right in there, MBF free workout. Before a launch of a program, I'll say for more info on Lift 4, they can go to my bio and click the link and then get more info. So that's another way to get people more information and to gather information on a regular kind of basis. And here's what Google Forms looks like. So when they actually click that free Sweat Studio button, it actually takes them to this form. So this is a form I made with Google Forms, free Girls with Grit Sweat Studio, and then they fill this out. And then I get notified. I always try to erase these because I know that those 8 aren't new, they're old, and I get rid of them so that when I come back, I'll know they're new. But I just get their info, get some goals and stuff, and then I'll send them that Canva I made with all the free workouts on it. So these 3 things kind of all work together, and it's a way to gather emails too, because now you can email them some more information or just, yeah, it all depends on why they filled out that form. So these are like some really good platforms for you to familiarize yourself with. So Linktree, Canva, and then Google Forms. And of course, there's lots of other things out there. Those are just the ones that I use. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, but hopefully you find those helpful and not overwhelming. Again, you don't have to do all the things and make all the pretty graphics and all that stuff right off the bat, but at least now you have some tools. So when you're ready, you can play around with them. And we want these things to bring you joy and make your life easier. If it's not bringing you joy and if it's not making your life easier, don't do it. Then you're just wasting your time because you're not going to use it because you're not going to enjoy it. So if you hate Canva, don't use Canva. Who cares? It's fine. If you don't want a Linktree, don't do it. I'm just telling you what I like and use personally. And again, not everyone's a graphic person, so do whatever works best for you. So that is where you go from here. National Wake Up Call, leaning into the team pages and the chat pods, and doing that tracker. You're actually going to be inviting people. You're going to be tracking your presence on social media. What's your storefront like? Have you been posting? Have you been sharing on Instagram stories? Have you been connecting and adding new people? And of course, putting yourself first. So that's where we go from here. And after this, it's kind of like you're gonna figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Be really close with your coach. Let them know what your goals are, what you're working on, and how they can help, because we can't read your mind. And as a coach, we want to work with the willing. So if you're willing and you want to run and you want to crush this business, tell your coach that. Because again, there's discount coaches, hobby coaches, and business builders. Wherever you are, we will meet you where you're at and help you reach your goal. But we have to know where you're at. So make sure that you're staying in contact with your coach. Game plan, see, like check in, what's going well, what do you need help with, like we're there for you. Okay, so anyways, congratulations on finishing your new coach training. And of course, if you sign up a new coach, go back in your emails, copy and paste, send them all of this stuff. You can be like, oh, cool, like go to email one and send them that. Like do this process with your coaches. And one day if you feel comfortable, do what I'm doing right now. Go to Zoom, record yourself on a video, save it, and then you can send them that video. So you can recreate the videos we made, only you doing them or whatever you want to do. So it's all there for you to use and steal. Same with our posts. If you're creeping on my Instagram for ideas, get inspired. It's okay. You can use some of the same language when you're first starting. Like we learn from each other. That's okay. Yeah, get inspired from other coaches, work with some of their ideas, make it your own. And yeah, you're going to rock this.